Hi, I'm Taylor, or Dr. Taylor Burrowes if you don't know me, and welcome to my channel. I'm curious about what you think today. Do you think happiness is a choice? I know what I think, and I'll get into that, but I just wanted to pose that question to you first. I often scan Instagram or Twitter or other social media platforms to see what catalyzes some passionate response in me. And I found one this week that I thought was really interesting, and it was about just that. So their post, and I'll put it here, says happiness is not a choice. Mental illness is not a choice. No one chooses to have a mental illness. They, meaning the mental illnesses, choose you. That means we don't always have control over our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. For example, to believe that the mentally ill people can choose to have a panic attack or depressive episode is simply put nonsensical. Interesting. Okay, I think there's a lot of bias that's displayed in their post, and there's more, but I'll do it bit by bit. Now, I like to critique these posts because a lot of them really are poorly written and poorly researched. They're presented from a very skewed view that's embedded in particular values, which is fine. We all have our values, but they inaccurately represent a concept. And so it reduces people's ability to critically think for themselves because they just take these things at face value. Now, often these posts aren't all bad or all good. There's more nuance to it. So I actually post some of these into my Telegram channel and I critique them because I think it's important to offer that opportunity for people to think for themselves with more information and to have a discussion about it. Now, granted, my Telegram channel is usually a little bit skewed towards people who have views that align with mine, but generally speaking, there's enough diversity that we have a pretty good conversation. So I'd love for that to happen here as well. So please do feel free to put your comments below, ask your questions, and let's get the conversation started here too. Now, in regards to this particular point that they're making, mental illness is not a choice. I don't think the people that wrote this realize, maybe they didn't come across the research, but 20% or less of mental illnesses are actually organic pathologies, whether by trauma or by birth. This nature aspect of mental illness is quite small. So the majority of cases of mental illness are actually lifestyle cases, just like in the medical field, in physical illnesses. We see so many physical illnesses that are actually lifestyle illnesses. So people who are ill due to a compounding effect of poor habits over their lifetime develop certain levels of illnesses like hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, and so forth, but also mental illnesses like mood disorders and even psychoses. So there's tons of illnesses, whether physical or mental, that are classified as avoidable, you would say, depending on their lifestyle choices. In other words, in the majority of cases, mental illness may not be something you choose, but it is something that is a result of a million choices you make along your lifetime. And that's where the conversation needs to happen. We need more accurate information to be put out there. Absolutely, we should be sympathetic to people with illnesses, but we also need to help empower them so that they can prevent illnesses and get better. And in order to do that, we need to see what they are capable and what they have control of to change. All right, on to the second slide. We can't force feelings that aren't there. If happiness was really a choice, surely everyone would choose to be happy. We may be able to choose how we frame our outlook on life, practice gratitude, go to therapy, take our medication, but we can't choose to create happiness, and that's okay. Negative feelings have just as much merit as positive ones. Now, they're squishing a lot into here, and I like the last part. Negative feelings are important. They are as valid as positive ones. It's kind of like integrating our shadow and our best parts. We have to accept and learn how to navigate the negative ones. There's a time and a place for them. We cannot deny negative feelings. We just don't want to get stuck in them. So that part is absolutely true, but it isn't really related to the other element. Now, the first part about if happiness was a choice, wouldn't everyone choose to be happy? Now, if everyone wants to be fit, pretty, and healthy, wouldn't they be making the effort to do so? Well, no, it's not that simple, right? It takes a lot of skill and it takes a lot of discipline. And a lot of people just don't put the energy and attention into it that they need to in order to make that happen. The same goes with peace of mind and happiness. It's not a switch that you just flip on, but that doesn't mean it's not a choice. The distinction I want to make here is that happiness is not just a singular choice. Happiness is a million choices we make each and every minute of each and every day. So that is where they're missing the mark on this. Slide 3. It's okay to be unhappy. Forcing the narrative that people can choose to be happy perpetuates the belief that negative emotions are bad. In reality, it's okay to be unhappy. Everyone should be able to feel safe and comfortable in expressing feelings that aren't positive. It's okay to not be okay. There are days that you're going to be stressed, disappointed, frustrated, or whatever, and that's fine. And you should be able to say that without any pushback. Another major problem with this point of view is that it's trying to empower people to be unhealthy. And even though it's implied and it's implicit in here, reading in between the lines, it's really dangerous subtext. And so if you feel like it's okay and you can be enabled in your misery, then it's going to perpetuate. So what you want to do is give both compassion and empowerment. And you do that by teaching and redirecting people towards what is healthy and what is the goal. If you don't do that, then they're just going to sulk and they're going to have chronic illnesses or unhappiness in this case. So now that I've taken a few minutes to expand on this concept, I want to ask you again, and I want to see if your answer is the same. You can tell me below. Do you agree or disagree? Happiness is not a choice. It's a tricky question, but here's my answer in summary. Happiness is not a singular choice. It's not a switch that you just flip. It's not enough to just think happy thoughts. In order to feel happy thoughts, you have to actually do things that will contribute to your happiness. And that's why positive affirmations are just one part of the puzzle. So they're great and all, but you have to back it up with action or you will not start to feel competent in achieving those goals. Well, I hope this video put at least a tiny smile on your face to help contribute to your overall happiness. And if it did, do give it a thumbs up. Your support and engagement really means the world to me. And speaking of which, if you can subscribe to the channel, even better, and you can catch a new video every week. Thanks for watching. Ciao!